Good morning and happy Friday to you. We are here for some live crafting this morning at My Sweet Home Living. My name's Tracey Campbell. Welcome in if you're new to me. I'm so glad you're here. And if you are a regular, I'm so glad you're here too. Come on in. I'm sitting at the sewing table today. I have several projects that I'm wanting to finish up and a real quick and easy simple project that I want to bring you along with too. So come on in here. I do want to make sure, let's see. I don't know what buttons I'm pushing. This is still somewhat new to me. So I'm so glad you're here. I am going to copy our link and send it out to our friends on Telegram. If you're not part of my Telegram subscription, or not subscription, Telegram notification, wrong word, then that's where I give you notifications of when I'm going live. Like this morning, your girl was running behind this morning. I had no idea it was already so late by the time I looked at the clock, and I thought, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, it's late. So I was running behind today. Good morning. Watching Silent this morning. Okay, Miss Jenny, hearts to you. So glad y'all are here this morning. Let me make sure that everything is working okay. I have multiple devices so that I can hopefully see everyone at the same time. Good morning, Miss Shayna. How are you? Victoria? Okay, I don't think, Can't wait to get on YouTube. You'll be here soon. You'll be here soon. I know it, Miss Shayna. It is a beautiful sunny day here in Northwest Kentucky, and I'm itching to get outside today. I've got several things to do outside on my to-do list. May even hop on the lawnmower today. Can you all believe that? Before March is even over. And I'm excited to be here with you all this morning. I have... here we go. Here's the, all the buttons in all the places. There we go. Now I can go and send my Telegram friends my link. Right there. Right there. If you're on my Telegram channel, you just got the noti. You just got the noti. So, here we are. I'm so glad y'all are here. Hey, Victoria, hubby is already on the lawn tractor this morning. Oh, isn't it amazing? The weather is absolutely beautiful. We're supposed to be up to 81 degrees today. Can't believe that. Well, you all come on in. I have some projects on my sewing table that I'm wanting to finish today. And it's been a busy week. Has it been a busy week for you all? Good morning from Paducah. I don't know why I said Paducah. I know right where Paducah is. I've been there many times. In fact, I went to college in Murray, nearby. So welcome in. If you caught my video from last Saturday morning, we used something that was new to me. I have never used them before. And they were stencils. Stencils. And they come in a set. And the set that I had were farm themed set. And of course they had a chicken stencil. Wasn't that cute? And this is gonna, I get to flip it back. Farm Sweet Farm. And this was one of the two of the stencils that came in a pack of 4. And I've used them to make some little miniature garden flags. And I'm going to be hanging them out on my chicken coop this week. In fact, I might be able to get to that today. I'll probably be able to take down the windshield off of my chicken coop run fence, and I'll be able to probably start decorating it today. I'm so excited. I'm ready for spring. Who else? Who else is ready for spring? You'll love the tulips. Yes. Okay. This was on one of my just recently videos that I've uploaded to my YouTube channel on how to grunge those Real Touch tulips. Now, these probably aren't like the name brand Real Touch tulips. I just purchased them on Amazon. I did think I searched on Amazon for Real Touch, but they came in a set of like 12 or 15. All I did was dip them in my coffee grunge and let them dry. And it gives them this wonderful grungy appearance. You probably can't tell from a distance, but they're perfect. They're perfect to stick in little primitive wooden boxes and whatnot. Let me see. Well, I can't grab that. We worked on this bowl back here in my last video. You can find that here on my YouTube channel as well. Those replays of those craft videos and DIY projects are all here on the page, on my channel. So check them out. Stenciling, I know, Miss Shana, I've loved some of your projects that you do with stenciling. And I've just never done them. And so I'm always kind of funny when, people reach out to me to try something. I'm thinking, is it really me? Is it something that I really can see myself doing or using and giving that product justice? And I will say that they do have some amazing stencil designs, and I was able to kind of make them my own. And this is going to be backwards for you just because of the way that the live video streams. And by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, it is best watched if you're watching it on the YouTube app, because I stream vertically. If you're watching it on the YouTube app, it will appear full screen for you to where you can see up close and real good details on what we're doing. I use some coffee stained muslin fabric. Coffee stained it, grunged it up, and it gives it this wonderful vintage tattered and worn look. Makes it look like it's been around for a long time. I use some basic black chalk paint. I have sprayed some outdoor sealer on this to help protect it, but you know what? If it weathers it and fades it, I'm okay with that, because that's kind of the nature of my style. I like things to be country and rustic, and so this is going to fit in right perfect with that. And did you all see, I don't know if many of you caught that video, that if you're watching on YouTube, it's here and watching. I'm going to make these a little hanging flag, and I'm going to hang them on the handle of a vintage rake, a vintage garden rake. I'm going to hang my rake horizontally and tie these onto the handle, the pole of the rake, and that's going to be part of my garden wall decoration. So I thought that was super cute idea. Here was the hen. I'm going to add some little fabric ties and a little pocket to slide it onto the handle of my rake. You saw that, Regina? Good. I know, I don't do much stenciling either. And so I was making sure that I could find some designs that I feel like I could use. And for those of you that like to craft and resell things, stencils are an excellent idea for things like that. You can get a lot of bang for your buck, buy that stencil set, one time and make many. Buy once and make many, and you can recoup your investment in those stencils. Then something else, I printed on fabric this vintage carrot design from my friend Catherine at Digital Deco Designs. It was a wonderful collaboration video from last weekend, and so you'll want to check out that video replay. We're going to turn this into a little garden hanging flag as well. So it's spring here, and gardening is on my mind. Gardening, outdoors, and all the things. So you'll see a lot of that reflected in a lot of my videos and projects. You have so many stencils and hardly ever use them anymore. Really, Victoria? Well, you can sell them on Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is a great place to sell things like that, because I know crafters like me, we usually go to Facebook Marketplace and search for things that are used and secondhand. And you'll be surprised. I bet there's a lot of people that would be interested in those. So if you're wanting to move them, move them out, I should say. Okay, I have a fun set of fabrics to share with you all, and this is going to be my inspiration for my project today. It's going to be really quick and easy. I'm just chatting and meeting up with you all this morning as well and showing you all these goodies before we get into the project. So I'm going to save this one for last, because this is the one we're going to be using. But my friend Esmeralda, you all have heard me talk about her before. Just a minute. We got a little bug. We're going to take care of that. There we go. She is from Lovett's Garden. L-U-V-I-T-T-S. Lovett's. That's how she spells it. Lovett's Garden. And let me look her up. She is on Facebook, And she has live sales. So I'm going to go to Facebook and I am going to, let me delete this out of the picture here. Pull up her name, L-U-V-V, no, one V, I-T-T-S, Lovett's Garden. She's absolutely the sweetest. And let me find her page. This is what her page looks like on Facebook. I know it's backwards and I apologize. There's nothing I can do about that. Lovett's Garden. She has live sales, but she and her husband, Chad, have some amazing vintage fabrics that she offers quite frequently. Fabrics, labels, and all the things. And so if you are like me and you like primitive style decorating, you might want to check her out. These are from her. And I could not resist some of these. You know, I told you, spring and gardening are all on my mind. Let's see here. There are some settings that I need to change on my live stream. There we go. We got the bug again. Here we go. Look at that. Look at that vintage tomato seed design. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. Okay. Okay, hang on here. I know what I need to do here. And I just couldn't find the option before I there's an option to where I can restrict those, and let's see. There. Okay. Now, what I did there, I just changed some settings on my live stream chat option. You must be a subscriber of my channel if you want to make a comment, and you have to be a subscriber for 10 minutes or longer. So, and I can change that too. So that will hopefully weed out the bugs today, if you know what I mean. No bugs are invited to our video today. Triumph tomatoes. It says Sleeper Wells and Aldrich. Oh, let's see, Burlington, New Jersey. But is that not amazing? You could turn this into a garden flag. You could turn it into a throw pillow for your sunroom or your porch or your deck, whatever. But that's amazing. And let me tell you, when I opened her package, it smelled absolutely amazing. It smelled so good because she coffee crunches most of her fabrics and materials before she sends them. Oh, if you could smell it, you would know. It's absolutely amazing. Here we go. Okay, it's good to have multiple devices to kind of help with things. That helps. Here we go. Did that not work? I don't know what's happening. It's not letting me send it. I was going to send to my broadcast channel the link to our video, but it's not letting me. It's not letting me. Darndo Facebook. Okay, so here's the other fabric. Look at that. It looks like a vintage quilt. Now, you all that are familiar with quilting, I cannot remember. Is this the pinwheel design? Or am I thinking wrong? I love it. It's just a sweet vintage fabric. And this would make an absolutely darling oblong pillow. Like a neck pillow. It would be so cute. It would be so cute. Okay, here is another one. And I didn't look at this one super close yet. This is a smaller pattern, which would be perfect for a smaller style project, like those little mini prairie dresses would be perfect. Hey, Miss Joy, how are you? Did it? Oh, it did work. Okay, good. I was worried that it wasn't going to work. Okay. Um, Now my mom's texting. I'm telling you, it's a hot mess around here this week. It has absolutely been a hot mess this week around my house. Everything that could go wrong, well, not everything, but a lot of things are just craziness. She has some vintage inspired labels that you can put on little throw pillows, little pillow tucks, little bowl fillers. Isn't that sweet? I love that. And then this made me go, oh, this was amazing. Calico Fabrics, is that what it's called? Um, you think that's called the pinwheel design, Regina? I think so too. I'm not super knowledgeable when it comes to that, but I think that's what it's called. Are you all seeing these vintage Americana red, white, and blues? So I don't know. I haven't even unfolded this yet. I literally just opened the package and took a big smell. And I thought, oh, I've got to share this with all of you all. This is absolutely amazing. So it's got the red, white, and blue. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet, but I might need your ideas. I'm thinking this would be a beautiful background for, or like as a bunting. Yes, I love decorating Americana. In fact, my dining room, not the dining room that's connected to my kitchen, but my other dining room. One day it's all going to be one big huge dining and kitchen area. One day when I can get my husband to start knocking down the walls. But that is going to be my primitive Americana room. I'm even working on a tree. Oh, I just gave myself an idea. This is long enough. I bet I could drape this around my tree that I'm wanting to turn into a primitive Americana tree. I love it. You contacted America or contacted Esmeralda. I can't talk to you the other day about a bunting. Yes. Now, Victoria, does she have some buntings? I don't know. But if she does, I would definitely get them from her because they're absolutely amazing. Like, I love everything I've ever received from her. Not to mention, I love supporting small businesses like her and her husband. They are the sweetest family ever. Absolutely ever. I wish I was Esmeralda's neighbor. Because we would be best friends. I just know it. But I have seen some wonderful buntings at on Amazon. Now, granted, they don't have the coffee grunge smell and look, but there are some that have that vintage, excuse me, that hit out of nowhere. I'll grab a drink. Sorry about that. They have some that are like the vintage color, the primitive stained color, and I'm going to be getting some of those big ginormous ones for my porch. I'm so excited. I love Americana themed decorating. That's probably my second favorite style to decorate with after Christmas. Christmas is my top. She said she did. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to double check to see what she has before I order anything. Okay, so where did I do with the one that I was gonna use? Okay. Oh, I dropped it. Hang on. I dropped it. Yikes. Okay. This is the one that I'm going to use. This is the one I'm going to use today. And we're going to put this together in a sweet little vignette. And I've kind of already put it together behind me so that you can kind of get an idea, and we'll be able to put it together pretty easily after we finish this. Let's see here. Okay, so look at that. Look at that right there. Fancy Chicks, laying mash. The Chuppet Company, established 1846, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And it's so cute. It has Tampa, Florida, Sanford, North Carolina, and all the things. Fancy Chicks laying mash. Is that not the cutest? She has designs like this all the time that are similar in style. And this, I'm going to turn it into a faux feed sack, because I'm going to use it as an addition to my little dough bowl back here, and we're going to bring that up close here in just a little bit. I like getting these things from her because, well, guess what? I mean, all the pretty work is done already. The print and everything is already on there. So all we need to do is put a backing on it and then fill it, which I remember one of the things I forgot was my filler. Whoopsie daisy. All right, we'll improvise here. We will improvise when it comes time. So I have some coffee stained muslin material that I'm going to use as the backer for this. Let's see. You decorate Americana from May to July. You know what? I do the same thing, Regina. In fact, I keep mine out after July. I keep it all the way out until like Labor Day because I take it down and then put fall up. So I keep my Americana out pretty much from Memorial Day all the way through Labor Day, all summer long. All summer long. Let's see. Yes, she is the sweetest, Shayna, and she has some sweet projects. So I'm going to lay this down with the pretty side facing up. Okay, pretty side facing up. This is a good size piece. This is 18 by almost by 11, so 18 by 11. And she will have different themes of these at every one of her live sale shows that she has on Facebook, so check her out. It can be year-round. It absolutely can, Mara. And the reason why I'm doing my dining room in this Americana theme, that's because I love it so much, and I do want to keep it out all year long in that room, except for Christmas and fall. I love having them out. Christmas and fall, I can't skip those seasons, so that's why I make sure that we have it up. Okay. So this coffee stained cheesecloth, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it to match the size of this. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to lay this on top for right now. Let's trim it down. But I will say the edges of this muslin fabric that I have coffee stained, it already has that frayed edging on all the sides. So when I go to cut this, two of my sides are not going to be frayed, which I'm okay with that because they're actually not going to show. The way we're going to sew it together, they're actually not going to show, I guess. I wasn't thinking about that. So let's cut this to match our piece of fabric. I love using these rotary cutters for things like this. I should have my straight edge right here. Where is it? Let's grab it out of the drawer, and that way I'll be a little bit safer, and it will help my rotary tool to glide down that fabric without possibly getting my fingers in the mix there. And apparently you can't type this morning. I have those days too. I have those days too, Victoria. It's so homey. You're right. Okay, I'm just going to use this straight edge now, and then this will be much easier. Yes. Whoops, we missed a little spot right there. Well. Okay. So when you get these fabrics from her, I just kind of wanted to give you a little quick idea, and you could use this same idea and turn it into a throw pillow if you really want to. So think outside of the box. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and trim that off right there. And we still have another little piece that we can use on another little project. Okay. Now let's trim down this side. Make sure our sides are matching. You know what I'm going to do? No, I don't need to pin it together just yet. All right. Now, we're going to take this straight edge and we're going to cut right down this side. That was a clean cut. Now, let's finish it off. And then we can hop right to the machine after this. After we do have to pin it together a little bit. Oop. I never know quite how much pressure to put when I'm trimming that. This will make a cute little tie off on, or a little string tie on something too. Okay. So here we go. We have 2 matching size pieces here. Now, I have 2 options. If I really wanted to, I could sew straight down both sides and across the bottom. But I feel like I want to have a finished edge on this. So let me show you this one that I've done in the past. Whoops, I just dropped stuff all over the floor again. This is one that I've done in the past with a much smaller design, okay? This one's probably like a, let's see. It's probably like a 5x7-ish. A little bit bigger. Actually, this is about 10 by, that's a 5x10, okay? So this has a nice finished edge, meaning your edges aren't seen. You know, they don't stick out, they're not fraying or anything like that. And I think that's what I want to do with this one. So let's do that. And in order to do that, if you're new to sewing, I'm talking to you. If you already know how to sew, then you probably already know this. You're going to take the pretty side of your fabric, the one that you want to see on your project. You're going to flip it down, and you're going to put it face down to your other piece of material, okay? We're going to flatten it out. Ideally, I would have my iron in here, and we would just iron this down. This is a little wrinkled up, but that's okay. That's okay. Make sure all of your corners are folded out nice and flat. And let's see here. Let's make sure we get the edges matched up as close as possible. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few straight pins, okay? And I am going to just pin those 2 pieces of material together in a couple of places. And that will keep it from moving around on me, okay? And as we sew, we'll just take those out. I like these straight pins that have the colors on the tips of them. I'll show you what I mean. Many of you probably already know. They have little colored little pin or tips on them. That helps me to see them, because I will tell you, I get to sewing and I'll forget their pins in the fabric if I'm not careful. And so those little colors kind of help my eye to notice that they're still there. Okay, so if I can grab one more, come on. Grab one right here. And we'll put one more on up here at the top. Okay, now when you're sewing this, before you start sewing this rather, you want to make sure you know which is the top and which is the bottom, because we're wanting to make this, I'm thinking I kind of want to make this an open bag, if you will, a little bit different style than the one I just showed you. I want the top to remain open. So this I know is the top of my design. So I need to make sure that I leave this part open. I'm not going to stitch along this part of the bag, okay? So let's start. We're going to start over here in this corner, all right? And let's pull the machine over. Let's pull the machine right on over. I have it loaded with just an off-white, a cream-colored thread, and it might show up a little bit on my fabric, but if I can just take a little bitty tiny brush of coffee grunge and kind of stain it to match, or you can take the time to get an exact color of your thread. Your husband is a veteran, so you keep your Americana out all year long. That's amazing, Debbie. Thank you for joining me today, and thank your husband for his service, and thank you as well, because I know it's a family ordeal, right? This would be such a cute throw pillow. Yeah, oh yes, Victoria, absolutely. It sure would. Now, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit because I want you all to be able to see what we're doing here. I'm going to take my 2 pieces of fabric that I have pinned together, and I'm going to lay it down on my machine. I already have my machine threaded. It's ready to go. It's ready to roll. And I'm going to put, this little corner keeps wanting to roll up on me, so I need to make sure that it's definitely flat. And then I'm going to put my presser foot down right at the tip of that fabric. Now, I want to make sure, let me get my little pointer tool out here so that I can kind of show you things as I'm going. Let me grab, here we go. Here's my little pointer tool. You like that? It's a skewer. It's a skewer. So the edge of my fabric, see the edge of my fabric? I want it to run right along the edge of this presser foot. So let's zoom in even closer so that you can see that. Okay, hang on, hold your eyeballs. There we go. This is going to run right along the edge here. Depending on your project, sometimes you might need to push it out, run it a little bit farther out, but this is going to be a good one just to kind of run right along the edge right there. Now, right now, my needle is up. It's upright right here. It's not down in the fabric. The tip of my needle is right there, okay? So I need to turn the wheel on my sewing machine towards me, and as I do, that's going to lower the needle down into my fabric. Then we're ready to roll. We're ready to roll. So here's what we're going to do. You know what? Where's my presser foot for my machine? Oh my gracious sakes. I'm telling you, I told you it was a hot mess around here today. Oh my gosh. Where's my presser foot? It's hidden. I see it. You know what it's hidden in? It's hidden in my box of jars down there. We're good to go now. Hopefully we have no more hot mess moments around here today. Okay. Now, when I start sewing, I'm going to stitch 2 or 3 times, and then I'm going to hit my reverse button so that it will back stitch 2 or 3 times, and that's going to seal my stitch in and secure it for me. So here we go. Let's stitch 3 times, push that back button, and it's going to go back 3 times. And now we're ready to smooth sail all the way down the side. And just keep it steady. If you're a newbie or maybe a little rusty, I think it's always best to go slow. Now, once you get kind of comfortable, you can speed it up. Now, I'm approaching this little needle, so I'm going to reach right up there and pull that out. Make sure that the rest of my fabric is straight because we're getting close to the corner down here, okay? So pull it out straight and just let the machine guide that fabric through there. As we approach the corner, we're going to remove that needle or pin. I should say pin, not needle. And we're going to go right down to the corner. We're nearing that corner, so I like to slow down a little bit. And I'm going to use this little skewer stick to kind of make sure that my corners are pressed down really good before it starts to get too close to my presser foot. And when I get right there, my needle is down in my fabric. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to raise my presser foot. You're going to see this presser foot raise up. Okay. My needle is holding that fabric right now in place while I rotate the fabric this direction. Okay. Now, here we go. Let's stitch down the side here on this will be the bottom of this bag. Make sure your presser foot's down and you're ready to go. We're going to straight stitch all the way down. I'm getting close to that corner. I'm going to pull that pin out. Make sure my fabric pieces are lined up. This is a somewhat forgiving of a project, so if you don't get it perfect, it's not going to be an issue. It's really not. Okay, I'm getting close. I'm going to make sure. There we go. Okay, my needle is down in. I'm going to raise my presser foot up. And this is the last side. This is the last side that we're going to stitch. We're actually stitching from the bottom of the bag down to the top on this one. So here we go. Put your presser foot down before you take off. Here we go. Put on the gas. The lady singer is sailing right along today. Ooh, she's shaking the whole table. Shaking the whole table. Slow her down a little bit. She's feisty on this Friday morning. Alright, when I get close to the corner here, this is going to be where I'm going to finish. And when you finish your stitching, you also want to make sure that you back stitch when you get to the end. That will help secure your stitches in place so that they don't unravel. Now, turn the wheel towards you and make sure that needle comes up out of your fabric before you lift up your presser foot. And we're going to pull that right out just like so. And let's grab our snips and we will snip those threads right there. And I'm going to pull those threads out just a little bit. That way the next time I start another sewing project, I have a little bit of distance there. Okay, so if you don't pull them out far enough, they will shorten on you, and your machine will come unthreaded. And nobody wants to rethread their machine any more than they have to, right? Okay, so now we have this adorable little bag. Now let me just say, before I flip this out, let me grab my, where are my good scissors? Did I put them somewhere else? They're in here. They're in here somewhere. I'm going to go snip the corners, okay? And let me show you what that does. All right, do you see that stitch line right there? I snipped the corners, and that will allow those corners to fold out a little better. Now, if you have a lot of overhang, I would advise, I have no idea what I did with those scissors, that you probably trim it down a little bit if you have a lot. We're going to kind of go with it and see what we have here. Let's trim this corner. And if it's too bulky, I will trim it a little bit closer to my stitch line, the seam. All right, let's flip this out. Now we're going to be able to poke those corners out the best we can with our fingers. And what doesn't work, we're going to use a skewer stick to finish poking them out a little bit. Don't use your scissors. Your scissors will poke right through that fabric, okay? All right, so let's go to this other corner down here. Oh, tickle, tickle, tickle my nose. Okay. This little fabric threads, I guess, are getting fuzzies or something. Something's tickling my nose. Okay. Whoop, I did poke through right there. I'm using the pointy end of my skewer stick, and it's sticking through my muslin fabric. That's the back side. Let's use the blunt end for better, safer option there. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could turn this into a little throw pillow. What you would do is you would stitch across the top, but you would leave an opening in your stitching so that you could, you know, flip it out and fluff it. I probably need to iron my seams flat so that my bag will kind of have a better shape, but that's okay. For right now, that's okay. Now let me grab my stuffing. My polyfill. I usually like to fill mine with a little bit of dried something. I had some dried beans, which was what I was going to grab, and fill up the bottom of my bag with a little bit of weight. That's what I was going to put in the bottom. But we'll go with it for now so that you can get an idea of what we're doing. And then, excuse me, I'll show you how I'm going to use this in my little dough bowl. I take this polyfill, and before I use it, I just kind of like to pinch and pull, okay? And when I do that, it's going to kind of help have a little bit more of a softer look. It's not going to be a lumpy filling. It's not going to be lumpy, or it helps it not to be so lumpy. Okay, so just pinch and pull a few times, so it kind of releases and gets it a little fluffy. All right. I put a little bit of filler, like I said, in the bottom, but do as I say, not always as I do. So we're going to take some of this filling and we're going to put it in the bottom. I don't want this bag to be like as fluffy as a pillow, okay? I want it to be kind of floppy-ish. I want it to kind of look like a feed sack that's been used, you know, that's not a big fluffy feed sack. All right, I think that might be good right there. Now, let's see here. No, I need it. I need it a little bit wider at the bottom. And if you want to, you could box your corners. If you know how to do that, you could box your corners so that you have a little bit of a flatter surface. And if I had the dried beans in the bottom, this would help in this part right here. So let's grab, I have some twine here. Let me pull off a strand of that, because that's how we're going to tie it at the top. I probably need just a little bit more stuffing because I want to make sure that all of the image shows as much as possible. So I'll probably fuss with this a little bit more after I'm finished today. But I want to tie this off at the top with a loose piece of twine string. Okay, I'm going to wrap it around there a few times just so that it's kind of a little bit more visible. I like the look of that. And I'm not going to tie it in a bow. I'm going to tie it in a loose knot. That's what we have right there. Okay, so make yours heavy at the bottom. Flatten it out a little bit so that it can sit upright. But if you have that weight, that will help it to sit upright a little bit more, okay? And then I just like to kind of, you can fold that down if you want, any which way you want to. And I just kind of did it in a loose knot so that it kind of still lets me see some of the graphics that are on there, okay? All right, so let me show you what I've done with this little dough bowl. We'll put this together and hopefully this will kind of give you some ideas. Let me get all our sharp objects out of the way over here. Let's scoot Lady Singer back because we're finished with her for right now. And let me grab this dough bowl. Now this dough bowl was a bowl that I found on Facebook Marketplace. My favorite place to shop for good finds, thrifted finds. So here's what I've done, something really simple. And kind of let me break this down a little bit. I already kind of had this put together a little somewhat. But let me show you kind of the base of this. Other than the bowl, which is amazing, okay? It's just a wooden dough bowl, okay? It's not authentic, okay? It's just a replication, right? So it's the perfect size for my kitchen island. And so I think this is a cute little display for any little primitive farmhouse kitchen. So I like to take just a dish towel and drape it across to give it a little bit of softness, okay? Kind of balances out the hardness of the wood, okay? So I drape that at an angle. Then I have, look at this amazing feed scoop. Love it, love it. So I'm going to kind of tuck this right down in here. And I also have, just to add some touch of green, I have some faux moss right here on the side. I'm going to kind of tilt that scoop right there. And let's see here. I probably need to place this first because it's such a big piece. I need it to be in there first. Gosh, I wish I had remembered to bring my dried beans to fill that bag. It would hold it down in there and let it sit down in there really good. Okay, so there's one. And I could put this one in there too, but I think that might be too much for this. Let's see. I have this sweet little chicken that I grabbed at one of our market days, vintage and thrifted market day sales. I'm going to add her. I like to put her in several different places around the house. So she moves. She's the musical chicken, the musical hen. the floating hen. I don't know what you want to call her. And then I have just some of these faux eggs. Now is the perfect time to grab these at your craft supply stores while they're out for Easter. I just get the neutral ones, and these are perfect to stage in any kind of chicken themed display. And so grab these. A lot of times they'll be on sale right now. So throw them in, and I just kind of just gather them in certain little areas. I'm going to have some more little green moss that I'm going to kind of tuck in with some here and there. I'm even going to put a few in the feed scoop, and then I'm going to just tuck in behind some little sprigs of spring greenery. Okay, you could use dried sweet annie, you could use any kind of dried naturals, or I want to keep it somewhat neutral though. I don't want a whole lot of color because I want my color to come from my crafted pieces here. Okay, everything else I like the green, the touch of greens for spring. So I'm just going to stick those in a few little places, and repeating those here and there. So at this point, I could add in this little feed sack. Well, that might hide my little hen. Let's play with that. Let's put this feed sack over here. And we could stick the hen right down here in the middle of the eggs if we wanted to. I want to make sure my eggs are visible on both sides, in the scoop and over here by the big feed sack. Okay. And there you have a sweet and simple little centerpiece that you could put on your kitchen island or whatnot. If you wanted to, I would be very cautious of this. Put a little candle in the middle of this. Probably one of those battery operated candles would be absolutely darling, nestled down in here. And that way it'd give it a little bit of a glow and at night, and so that you'll be able to see the designs of your chickens. Isn't that sweet? Hopefully this has given you some ideas too. Let's see. Jeannie says, you need help getting on the Craft on the Clock group. How can I get in touch with you to talk about the link is broke and it needs your approval? Oh, I don't know. You mean you're wanting to get in the Craft on the Clock group where you can watch all of our live crafting shows? Is that what you're talking about, Miss Jeannie? You like it, Regina? Thank you. It's something really easy to put together. I also have this other little item that I have tucked in here before. This is just a sweet little egg. I got this from another one of our little vendors that is in our Vintage and Thrifted Market Day events. So I had this kind of tucked over here too. But I've got, with this big feed sack here, I've kind of ran out of room. So if you want to tuck in more, get you a bigger and bigger dough bowl. Yes, I was on it and got hacked and had to change your email. Now you can't get on. Okay, Jeannie, request to join again. Okay, and I'll be on the lookout for you. Okay, if I'm on the lookout for you, sometimes that will help, and I'll try to get you approved in there. And if the link is not working, I don't know. Do you know how to send me a PM, a private message on Messenger? You can do that, and I'll see about helping you out and getting in there. Okay. Victoria loves it. Joy loves it. Regina loves it. Awesome. In your area, you don't find too many primitive country home decor pieces on Facebook Marketplace. Really, Jenny? I hate that. Well, I will say there are a few sellers that I've noticed that will sell on Marketplace and they offer shipping. I will say be cautious of that. Always look to see if those sellers have reviews. But that's a good alternative as well. But if you have trouble beyond that, check out our Vintage and Thrifted Market Days. We have those 4 times a year, and you can shop those live sales, and a lot of the sellers will have these primitive style items, and you've probably already seen those, right? You love the graphics on it? Good. This would be so cute. Oh, okay. I'm caught back up to the comments. Awesome. It won't let me tried to contact you on Sweet Home Living, but I don't know if you're getting those either. Oh, Jeannie, I don't know. I'll have to double check. You could have been accidentally blocked for some reason. I don't know that either. I will tell you something else. If you've requested to join the Craft on the Clock group, you want to be sure that you have answered all of the questions that it asks you when you join, because if you don't, we have an automated system that will automatically deny you. So check that out. If you've requested to join, make sure you answer all the questions. Because if you don't, there's not even a chance of getting in. So do that. Otherwise, I'll be on the lookout for you. Okay, Miss Jeannie. I'll see if I can help you out. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Check out the Craft on the Clock group today, though. It's Cardboard Craft Day all day today, up until like, oh, I think 11:15 tonight. So check it out. And sometimes if you can't get in, you might have to delete and log back in. That's a good tip too. You just never know about Facebook. Okay, Miss Jeannie, I'll be on the lookout for you. Okay, thanks so much. You'll have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you again real soon.